What do Cafcass do? Cafcass are social workers who work on behalf of the court, and really they're the court-appointed experts to help resolve child arrangement issues and the disputes between both parents. Just prior to the first hearing, they'll produce what's known as a safeguarding letter, so they'll have a chat with both parties and just get an indication of the differences and arguments between them. Their primary concern at that point is to make sure that the children or a child is safe and well and being looked after by at least one appropriate adult and who's caring for them. At the first hearing, they're going to find out more information. They're going to look at safeguarding. They're going to look at whether any interim contact is appropriate and give recommendations. And then they're going to see whether they need to do what's known as a Section 7 report moving forward before the second hearing, which is a report looking at issues in far more detail and then coming up with recommendations to the court for the final hearing. So at the second hearing, after they've done the Section 7 report with the recommendations, they get both parents back together again to see whether they can get some consent and agreement around their recommendations. If they can't, you go off to a final hearing where Cafcass present their evidence to the courts. A fairly straightforward process. So why have a lawyer? Because your lawyer isn't there when they do the first safeguarding call. When you go to the first hearing, Cafcass don't allow your lawyer to go into the room with you when they talk to you. This is something that lawyers don't tell you. You're spending thousands of pounds potentially on legal representation, and your lawyer is sat in the corridor whilst you go and have that meeting with Cafcass. However, as a McKenzie friend, we are allowed into that room with you to help take notes and to give you advice. Because Cafcass cannot stop you taking a friend into that consultation with you. At the next hearing, when Cafcass come up with their recommendations and try to get both parties to agree, Cafcass are talking to both parties. They have their recommendations, which they've published in a Section 7 report. Having a lawyer at this point is pointless. A lawyer isn't going to be able to get the Cafcass officers to change their mind and suddenly say, "Oh, I'm sorry, my recommendations are, you're right, I'm completely wrong and I'm going to change my mind." No, they're going to stick to those recommendations, irrespective of what your lawyer says. And they're just going to try and help both parties to come to a conclusion. Even at a final hearing, having a lawyer is again, what's the point? Cafcass are the professionals, they're the expert witnesses in the room giving evidence to the court. And all their decisions are based on analysis. They're just not just made up. They're based on analysis using all forms of tools. And so their evidence to the court is of significant weighting. And that's why, in the vast, vast majority of cases, the court just implements what the Cafcass recommendations are. There's very little your lawyer can do to make the professional expert in the room change their mind. They're not going to. So why spend up to £20,000 on a lawyer when actually it's Cafcass who are the experts, who are the ones who go and do all the work and provide the recommendations to the court independently of you? Cafcass don't see things from the perspective of the parents. They're not really interested in your arguments in reality. They will only consider things from the best interests of the child under the child welfare checklist. And the thing that they state is they do not take sides. So many parents believe that this is about Cafcass taking sides against the other parent and supporting one parent against the other. I promise you, they don't do that. Which again is why having a lawyer to enter into the process to be adversarial, to support what you want, is completely pointless. So if we can help you at this stage at a fraction of the cost of a lawyer, then please give me a call and I'll be delighted to give you a 1 hour free consultation.